Rest in peace. Rest in peace to my dad. Several days ago, I got a phone call from a former guest on this podcast, my cousin Derek, who does videos. He shoots documentaries, all kinds of stuff, man. And he called me, and he told me that, you know, my dad had passed away.
No way, bro.
Yeah.
No way, man.
Yeah. Mixed emotions. This is a day that, just to give you guys some background out there, my dad and I had only met my father 2 times physically, and then we talked on the phone several times after that. But, you know, I kind of make the jokes on the podcast. Every Father's Day, I tell y'all the same joke. I say, hey, I threw the ball to him. He threw the ball to me.
That's real life.
It really happened, though. You know, I threw the ball to him. He threw the ball to me. By the time I caught it, he was already getting in the car. So it's this running story that I've always told on this podcast, and to close friends and family. I've always said that. I always thought that, you know, if something like this would happen, I would not have any emotion. Boy, was I wrong. I think that people in general always think we have time. Like, oh yeah, I got time to do that. I'll do that next week, or, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll link up next, you know, at some point we're going to, you know, link up and figure this situation out, whatever the situation is, right? But then on the flip side of that, we always hear tomorrow is not promised. We always hear that. So it's like, we know that tomorrow's not promised, but we always think that we got next week for some odd reason, right? Or next month, next year, whatever the case may be. And that is obviously not true. So he passed. So I get that call. That was a tough call. Got a call from my other cousin, who is Derek's sister. She called me. I got text messages from people that I knew, cousins in the family that I knew. You know what I'm saying? I noticed his nieces, nephews, or first cousins, whatever the case may be. So yeah, it was tough to hear that news. Now, the next part comes in is, what am I gonna do? Am I going to go to a funeral of a person that I really don't know? Or am I just going to, you know, sit back and send my condolences? You know what I'm saying? Like that, right? To the people out there, I said, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to show respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it. I'm going to man up, and I'm going to go. But I had stipulations, though. So some of the stipulations that I had, Antonio, was I'm showing up late so I can sit all the way in the back.
Showing up late is crazy.
I said I'm going to go a few minutes. So if they said they was going to start at 11 o'clock, I said bet. So I'm going to go there at like 11:07, 11:08, 11:10. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show up late so that I can just sit in the back, won't nobody know me. Because, Antonio, I'm one of the guys that when I watch movies, I always think real life scenarios, right?
Right.
So this is what I thought was going to happen when I walked in the door. I thought what was going to happen is, Aaron, you walk in the door, and then the door goes, and then everybody turn around and be like, there he is. Yep. There he is. That's yeah, that's him. Who is that? Yeah, that's his. Now you know, whatever. I'm thinking it's going to be like that. That's why I was like, I'm a show up late. So I show up a few minutes late, and so does the first cousin that I know is there. For those of you who went to Urbana or know anything about Urbana High School, one of the cousins that was like did social work there was Miss Powell.
Miss Powell.
Crystal Powell.
For sure.
She's there. If you know her, she's a jokester, bro. Like, she makes jokes. She's funny, you know, so on and so forth. So as soon as I walked in, she big hug, you know what I'm saying? And she started introducing me to people. And I'm like, this is what I didn't want. So they put 11 knowing that people was going to show up late. It actually didn't even start till noon. So for 1 hour and almost 10 minutes, bro, I'm getting introduced to people. This person, this person, this person, this person. Everybody welcomed me with open arms. Some people said, man, I remember you. I met you before when you was, just a baby. I met you when you were, just this, you would just start walking. And, I don't remember, but they know. And I know names and I know, so on and so forth. So they welcomed me with open arms, man. It was very interesting. And then when we got into it, like in the venue, and I was about to sit down, somebody says, "This is your sister." She stands up. I look at her. I'm looking in the mirror because I'm looking at
you as a female. I don't know what's going on.
It's me as a female with hair. It's unbelievable, and it was an instant connection. It was an instant connection, and we just started talking. We started, just sharing stories that about our lives and how we, she met him a few times, so on and so forth. So she's telling me this thing, and this is a lot that's happening to me at the time, Antonio. I didn't even call you. I didn't tell you none of this. So this is fresh for you.
Steve, I got questions. We're gonna talk about this. Don't worry, as family. We're gonna unpack this, man. But I'm letting you get your shit off. Keep going, bro.
Yeah, so like I'm meeting her, and I'm meeting, we're meeting people too. We meeting people that we know. So now Miss Powell is taking us around, introducing us, and to everybody she says they got the same face, don't they? Then we move to the next person. They got the same face, don't they? I said, you ain't got to say that. She said, but I'm going to do it every time. They got the same face. They got the same nose. They got the same. And they're meeting uncles who are older, obviously. And they like, them Americans, they got the same nose. It's like that. It's very interesting. Very overwhelming, I'll say. And we're thinking, okay, if we're here, we know he has other kids, but they're not there. So it is what it is, All of a sudden, hey, check this out. This your brother. I said, what's up, bro? He like, hey,
everybody younger, right? Are you the
no,
oldest?
that's the thing.
My God.
So here's my sister. She 39. I'm 38. In comes my brother. They say, here's your brother. So how old are you, man? He say, I'm 36. And he says, and here is my brother, who is our brother, and he 34. So I'm pausing right there. I'm gonna let you talk, and then I'm gonna continue because if it's blowing your mind, I can only imagine. And this is all happening in real time, and we're all blown because we have never met each other.
So this is where perspective comes into play, because you thinking, yeah, he ain't never want to see me. He just threw the ball and I threw it back and he left and got in the car. Yeah, because he had 17 more houses to go to, DJ.
At the same day, in the same day.
Same time. He had to hit the whole the whole cul-de-sac. What's going on with my man, bro? Jesus, man. First off, man, my condolences to you. I know, especially like you said, I want to. Hopefully, we can unpack this. I don't know how much you want to talk about this or not, because we haven't talked about this. So, this is one of the things that I had a conversation with someone where my father did, 26 years in federal prison, right?
Right.
And so he got out when I was 28. The time my man got out, I was 28. A person I knew who was, I think, 50 at the time, his dad died, right? So we're both at this crossroads where my man has 50 years of his life with his dad and grieving that, right? I have no years with my dad, and I just get this person in my life. And me and him had a conversation on what's better or worse. Because you're grieving for having somebody in your life, but you have 50 years of memories. I got 4 or 5 memories, and 3 of them is damn near looking through the glass, right? Or meeting you and doing a jail pose and stuff like that as a kid. So I don't know if it has to be better or worse or whatever. So that's the question I relay to you. How do you feel about that? Because you don't have these memories of this individual. I'm sure people talked at the funeral and all these stories. You don't have those. You know, that could have been like you just walk into a normal funeral home and just kind of the same feelings. I don't know. But I know you talked a little bit about you think you had time. Was there in your brain like, hey, you know, I'm 38, maybe I could catch him next year or in 10 more years or 20 more years and have these conversations, but now you don't have that. So, you know, if you don't mind unpacking that, how you feel about it, bro?
I think what it was, and somewhere in the back of my mind, I was holding out some type of hope for closure. Like, I had asked him when I was a little kid, you know, why ain't you been around? And he said, you know, life, you know, takes everybody on different paths. And he was like, you know, I'm sorry. I will say that, but you know, I'm gonna try to be better, you know, and I kind of held that. I think the good thing is that my mom never said a bad thing about him. Like, so it was never put in my head that, oh, well, he's a deadbeat or he's this or that. You know what I'm saying? So that never fueled me to put like some type of hate in my heart.
For sure.
For someone that I don't know. Mm-hmm. I kind of just was like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, he's right. Everybody go down different paths. But in the back of my head, I kind of did hold that hope because I was hearing so many stories about him being in the same area. How can you be in the same area and we not run into each other? How can we be in the same area and people see me in the store and be like, man, I just saw your dad. That's crazy. Like, what am I supposed to do? Say, all right, man, shit, let's get in the car. Is he still at the store?
And maybe he could have saw you and said, "Oh shit, hold on, let me get back in the car."
He ducking. He could be me. He could, because that's what I do. I duck people all day, bro.
I do, bro. Don't be.
I am
the ducker.
I am no stranger to having AirPods in and ain't a damn thing playing.
What?
Nothing. Ain't nothing playing. They be like, "Hey, man, let me."
You might be a psychopath, bro. That might go on the list of psychopaths.
It is. So he could have been that. He could have seen me and I want to have that conversation.
That's tough, man.
Because, you know, so I think what it is, I held out some type of hope that we would.
But any kid would, though. So, you know, I don't know if you feel like this, but don't feel bad for doing.
Right.
Any kid would do that, bro. We believe it as Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody have that kid, or is that kid when you 7 to 8 realize it ain't no Santa, or 10? Yeah. That's across the board. So you're supposed to feel like that, bro. As an adult, you kind of feel like you were cheated, you know, on that father-son time.
Correct. So, I mean, I think that's what, you know, I was doing. I will tell you that, you know, watching everybody get up and speak, I have a very large family on that side. Everybody with any name was in this place. What I found very interesting is that during this time of me sitting here and watching people talk, everybody knows that I was very close to Verdell Jones, who did Fort Suey. He's now the coach for Urbana. He was there and I told him, I said, hey, yeah, he was like, so who are you kin to here? I said, I mean, that's my dad. And he was like, what? And I'm like, and he's known me since I was, you know, 11, 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't even know. So it was just so many people there. They're sharing all these stories about him. And there's a lot of similarities between the two of us, which is he was a helper of people. He enjoyed helping people no matter what it was. We'll figure it out. Everybody kept saying that. Like, we'll figure it out. And I'm like that. I have that mentality of we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, hearing those stories were really good. And again, you know, seeing the siblings I had, having conversation with them, we all share the same story. He said the same shit to all of them.
So what did he say to his daughter, man? They play Barbie doll or something?
He said, hey, I'll be there and you gonna come to the family reunion? I got you. come get you. Well, what's cool is
or something?
He did go to her wedding, which she said she wasn't expecting.
But okay, so how do you feel about that? He wasn't at your wedding, bro.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it was I don't know if it. Can't really say, but I can sympathize a little bit. Maybe if that's his girl. You know what I'm saying? It's his baby girl, his oldest girl. He met her multiple times, not close. You know what I'm saying? But he kept a close relationship with her mother. Maybe that's what that was. So hearing her talk about him, we shared the same things, but at least they shared some type of time.
For sure. Okay.
I met his son, that's his name. You know what I'm saying? Eric Roberts Jr. That's, his son's name. I could tell instantly that he's a gamer, bro. I could tell he's a gamer. He was ready to get back home and get on the game, bro. I could tell. I met his other son, Ryan, who seemed very business oriented. He just kind of seemed like he was there, show respect and go home. But my sister Victoria, she had took like an instant interest in me and what I'm doing in my life, and how could we not have met each other? You know what I'm saying? In closing, I guess I don't want to be too long-winded. I will say that this was almost like the closure that I needed. In his death, he brought us together, which is something that all four of us, minus the two, because there was two twin sisters that did not come, for us to, come together. Maybe that was a vision. Maybe that was a vision that he wanted that just didn't happen. And even if it wasn't, it was something that we wanted, especially me and my older sister. She said this was a day she always wanted, like us to meet and, be around each other. So I think that was the closure that I needed. And so in his death, that's what I got from it. And then also, thank you to, my whole family on that side for being so. Everybody's funny. Everybody don't take shit serious, bro. Everybody was laughing and making jokes and, uncomfortable jokes, which is the type of jokes I would do. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I felt like I can see kind of where I get my sense of humor from, And so I think that was the closure. And, I did something today that I'm very happy that I did. The brothers, they had to leave. They drove back home. Sister, she stayed overnight. I didn't know. But I was able to treat her husband, and my niece and nephew, and her mom to breakfast. You know what I mean? I was able to do that today.
Nice,
and
man.
I think that was, it felt so good. And we've been texting all day. And that would have been, and once again, I'm here for every emotion or thought that you have going forward, Right.
So that was going to be my question. You talked about the past and the present. So what does the future look like, right? Like, you have a kid, they have kids. Y'all gonna get together, little barbecues, or
Right.
is it only one that you only mess with? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm the oldest of 7, so I understand.
Right.
Bro. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But, what does the future look like for the Harris family, man?
I'll say that because I didn't get the same conversations with my brothers, my sister and I, we talked like at the funeral, at the repast, after the repast. Like it was like we just continued throughout the night. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that relationship will grow. I don't know what's gonna happen with the brothers because they kind of came and went, so I can't answer that. But I do feel comfortable with saying that I think my sister and I will grow a relationship. I will also say that I was told that if I don't show up on the 4th of July to this family cookout, that it's going to be trouble. Now that everybody knows that I live here and my full name and everything was in the, in the book and everything, they ain't playing. They have added me on social media. They have been texting me. All the way to like my grandma on that side, it's been, you better, this, when we get together, we really get together, and now you have to be here, so I think that, I feel comfortable with saying that, I'll be there. They open They're open their arms to me. And I say it is hard for me to talk about,
Yeah,
but they
understand.
did.
And it's new.
Yeah, it is new, and it was very overwhelming, bro. Like I'm meeting people that are like, and this your uncle, that got to be his son. Look at him. Look at that's how that was. Like, you want some more chicken, boy? You better get you one. It was like we never skipped the beat, if that makes sense.
Yeah, man.
So,
you felt the love, man. It wasn't like you was like the side baby or something like that.
At
Like,
all.
why is he here? You know what I'm saying? So that's great, man. That's great.
That's honestly, that's how I thought that it was gonna be. That's how I thought that it was going to be. But it was great. It was great. And I'm happy that I went. I'm happy that awkwardness that I thought was going to happen wasn't even there. So yeah, that's where it was. So
Man,
rest in peace to
man.
my dad.